Yeah, it is live on YouTube now. So, Kishan Prabhu, you can make me co-host. Anil Prabhu, you can make me host, or maybe Kishan Prabhu host, someone host. That
Prabhu,
is
we don't have the option, Prabhu. Only Anil Prabhu has to do it.
okay. Anil Prabhu, if you are listening, you can make me host so that I can share this.
Uh, Hare Krishna, bro. Yes, bro. Just for it.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Anil Prabhu, you can make me host, Prabhu.
Yes, bro. Now you should be able to share.
Yeah, I'm host. Okay. If you are, you will continue as host, Prabhu. Otherwise, you can make someone else host so that you can be free. Let me share my screen. Hare Krishna, hope you are able to see my screen now.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna talk. So welcome to the Bhagavad Gita session. So today we are covering about chapter 7, which is knowledge of the absolute. So before we begin the session, let us do our prayer so that we get the mercy of Guru and Krishna to understand this in a correct way. All of you can switch on your video, join your hands. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So let us offer our sincere obeisance to A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Also take blessings from our Shiksha Guru Srila Prabhuji as well as Sindu Padas. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So yesterday we understood about chapter 6, which covered enemy or a friend, how our mind can become enemy or a friend, right? So if we have the knowledge, then it becomes a friend. If we don't have the knowledge, it becomes our enemy, right? And we also got to know about the Ashtanga Yoga. So there are 8 steps to achieve the ultimate there. And we also know that how difficult it is for people who are in Kali Yuga, especially, right? And we also understood about how we can see the success and failure, and also the paths, right? So the yogi. So among all the paths, which is the best path? That is Bhakti Yoga, right? Bhakti Yoga. And we'll understand more in chapter 7 about Bhakti Yoga. So today, what we are covering as part of chapter 7 is about hearing, which is covered as part of Shloka 1 to 3 of chapter 7. And everywhere and essence about Paramatma. So chapter 7 covers from those shloka 4 to 12. And accept or reject, like who are the people who accept Krishna, who are the people who reject Krishna, who surrender, who does not surrender. We'll understand those categories of people, and we also understand more about devatas, right? So this chapter 7 is actually the first chapter of Bhakti Yoga. So the entire Bhagavad Gita is divided into 3 parts, right? So the first part is Karma Yoga, which is from chapter 1 to 6 that we covered so far now. And now we are starting with the Bhakti Yoga, which is in the middle of the 18 chapters, like 7 to 12, you can say, right? And the last 6 chapters are dedicated for Dhyana Yoga, right? So this, always we understand, right? So the important things we keep in between, right? So it is so precious. So in this Bhagavad Gita, the Bhakti Yoga is the most precious thing, and it's very important that we understand this thoroughly so that we can apply this in our day-to-day life. How we can apply this Bhakti Yoga in our day-to-day life so that we live a peaceful life and we understand what is right in our life and what is incorrect in life, right? So far we covered the Karma Yoga. So let's understand more in detail from this chapter 7 about Bhakti Yoga. So as you can see, the Krishna has explained about Karma Yoga, and then he also explained how we can implement Karma Yoga in Krishna consciousness. And he in chapter 6 he covered about uh, this one about Jnana Yoga, right? But we understand that through those steps, the Ashtanga Yoga that we understood. So there are so many rules and regulations and the steps we need to follow. Because in Kali Yuga, we cannot even sit for 1 hour properly, right? So that Ashtanga Yoga takes so much of effort and dedication, focus, right? So it is very difficult in Kali Yuga to go through the Ashtanga Yoga to achieve the ultimate, right? Because there are so many rules and regulations there. But whereas Bhakti Yoga is the easiest way for recommended in Kali Yuga, right? It is just chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra will help us purify and help us attain Krishna, right? So we'll understand more the process of it, like in this chapter. That's the main thing. Like we'll understand more about Krishna in this chapter. Right? The hearing, right? So hearing is important. Like if you see here, as we can see the overview. So hearing everywhere essence, accept or reject and devatas. So regarding hearing, right? So we should hear from Krishna, right? So hear from the Lord Krishna, right? So here in the sloka says, Maya Saktamana Partha Yogam Yunjan Madhasrayaha Asamsayam Samagramam Yata Jnasasri Tashrunu. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, now hear, O son of Partha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt, right? So from this chapter onwards, Krishna, so without even Arjuna asking, he started revealing more about himself, right? So but after covering about karma and Krishna consciousness, Jnana Yoga, so now Krishna is revealing more to the Arjuna, right? And he is telling that now hear from me. So if someone who is practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, like means whoever is focusing or surrendering himself to Krishna and with all the attachment to himself, like to Krishna, then there is no doubt that he can attain him, right? And we also know that. So we struggle in our life, right? So there is a lot of struggle in each one of our life, right? And so as you can see in the Prakriti, so we can also understand that the struggle is important because the struggle makes us stronger, right? We can take one example here. Like I'll tell you instance. Like so we know that all these National Geographic Channel and animal related channel like Discovery and all. So they videograph the journey of animals or insects or something, right? So once what happened? So one videographer was capturing the journey of a fly coming out of a egg, right? So there were so many eggs, and he was from the beginning of the formation of the egg to the the fly coming out of that eggs. He was capturing the video, right? And he was observing that. So each egg, so when the fly was trying to come out of that egg, so it was taking lot of time, right? So at first it makes a small opening in the egg, and then it takes so many hours, right? So it takes so many hours to uh, try to come out of that egg, right? So it is struggling a lot. So it takes at least 2 to 3 hours to come out of that shell of the egg, right? So slowly it tries to open slowly a little bit more and more, and then it tries to when it comes out. So, as soon as it comes out, it starts jumping here and there. Like a few times it jumps, and then finally it starts flying, right? It gets its wings opened and then it starts flying and then it leads its life. So he was observing all this for so many eggs, and then last when there was a last egg left, so he thinks like, so it's actually the fly is taking so much of time, so let me help it come out faster, right? So what he does with a small needle, he tries to open that egg a little more, and so that the fly can come out quickly, and it can without having. He thinks that it should not struggle so much, like why it has to take 2-3 hours. So I'll help it come out quickly, right? So he opens the egg with a needle, and what happens to that flies? It comes out quickly, and it starts jumping a few times here and here. But after a few jumps, it is not able to jump also, and it's not able to fly. Why? Because it did not take that effort of developing that strength when it was in the egg, right? So for all the previous eggs of the flies, so it was taking. That's why it was taking 2 hours. Like the God has given that system, right? So it's always, we should understand that the struggle is good for us, right? Same way like the fly, it took that 2 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours time to develop its strength. And when it comes out by jumping, and then it gets the strength to open those wings and fly and lead a life. But this guy, the cameraman, what he did is he eliminated that process of gaining the strength, right? Because of that struggle itself, it was able to get the strength and fly. Same way, whenever we get any difficulties in your life, we should think that this is for our purification, right? So the God has made such a process. God knows that what is right for us and what we need to prepare for the best thing, right? So that's what. So anything, so even if you see in any of our situation, we feel that why I'm getting so many difficulties, right? But when we have this right knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then you can easily make out that whatever is happening for us is as per our karma, right? We know that we have different types of karma, so we have accumulated that, and based on the karma credit only, we are facing or suffering or enjoying the benefits in this material world. So whenever there is a difficulty, we should not think that this is why it is happening to me and all. So there is some reason behind that, and like we saw in the life of fly, right? So and when it struggles more in the beginning to come out of the egg, only then it is able to lead a happy life post that, right? It can lead its normal life. But if some shortcut, if you are trying to take, then it is not the permanent thing. Like, so it's a very short lived only. So that's why. So when there is a struggle, we should think that it is good for us, right? Because something good is waiting for us, so that we have to earn ourselves, right? So that's how it is. So let's understand more through the next slides here. So yeah, so Krishna starts revealing more about himself in this Bhakti Yoga. So hearing, right? So from whom we should hear, right? So Lord Krishna's message is for hearing, right? So before, what we should do before meditating, hear about him. So he reveals knowledge about himself, the rarity of this knowledge, right? So we should, when we are hearing about Krishna, so we should also first understand about him, right? So before we start hearing, we should also hear about, meditate about him, Lord Krishna, right? Because the more and more you please Krishna, he will reveal more, right? So he himself will reveal knowledge about himself, right? So the our aim is to meditate about him, hear about his kathas, right? And this knowledge is very rare, right? You will not get this knowledge everywhere. So this is, and even if you take any Veda, so everywhere it is from someone else's reference. But here, if you see in Bhagavad Gita, the Krishna himself is giving that message, right? So we don't have to bother about the authenticity of that, because Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and he himself revealing in through Arjuna, right? So he's telling the right things what we should do in our life, because this Bhagavad Gita is a manual for a human being, and Krishna himself is telling about all those things, right? So that's the thing. Like we are very uh, fortunate that we are able to, that Krishna has given us this Bhagavad Gita, and he himself has told everything clear about himself, and what is the right thing to lead a life and all. So we should not have any doubt that whether this knowledge is right or not, right? So this is the right place to hear, like, so right place from where we should hear from, right? So Lord Krishna's message is for hearing, for us to understand about this life, about this Bhagavad Gita, so that we can lead a peaceful and a happy life, right? So as I said, like the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself is saying, okay, if you take any other scriptures and all, So someone else is telling, but here Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself is telling, and our only job is to believe him, right? So like, see, we are more influenced by our Western culture, right? So everything nowadays, if someone asks for something, so can you show me? People ask, right? Can you show me? Only then they will believe, right? It's not possible, right? So our life itself starts with the faith, the trust. Like, well, how did we go on? Like, if we have to know who is our father, how is it possible, right? So we'll understand that in the next slide also, right? So how can a child know who his father is, right? So our life started by trust only, right? So if you have to know who is our father, there are multiple ways, right? So it is by conducting DNA test, right? Is it by guessing? So DNA test, how is it possible, right? So you cannot conduct a DNA test for so many people in the world. Right? So only when there is a doubt that whether who is the father between two people, then only the DNA test will help to understand who is our father, right? And is it possible by guessing, like by the color, by the features of the face? Is it possible, like, because so many people will be fair, so you cannot say that I am also fair, he is also fair, and he is my father, because there are so many people who are fair, right? So like that, so even by the color, the nose or the face cut, so it's difficult to guess, right, who is your father. So other step is it by working permutations and combinations, right? So you can think of similar, like his behavior is like that, so I am also behaving that way, so he is my father. So is that the process? That's also not the right process, right? Is it what we know from the mother, right? So the last step mentioned here is it that we know it from our mother that who is our father, right? So this is the right way, correct? The mother only can reveal that who is our father, and that is the right way, and we believe our mother, right? So when you so if you don't believe, then it's your life will be disaster, correct? So same way, when we are hearing from Krishna about the Bhagavad Gita, then we should have that trust, right? Because our life also is started with the trust only, right? So if we don't believe that what our mother is saying, then how can you lead a life, right? So when our mother says that he is our father, and we believe that, and we lead our life saying that he is our father, right? So same way, so when Krishna is saying that he is the ultimate, or he is the supreme personality of Godhead, and he is telling all the right things that we should do in our life to attain him at the end of our life, then we should just trust and believe him in, and surrender and start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, so that we get purified ourselves, so that we become eligible, and Krishna himself will reveal more about himself as we start pleasing him by chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, right? So this is how important it is. So hearing from the right source, right? Further. So three processes for acquiring knowledge, right? So there are three processes mentioned here. There's Pratyaksha Pramana, right? So this is most of the times we think that whatever we see through our direct perception, that's the right thing, right? So that's one of the, it may not be true that all the time whatever we see is the right thing, right? So because the nature is different way, even if you take the vision of ourselves and the birds or different creatures, so we can see only up to say 1 kilometer or something. But if you take the vision of an ant, it can hardly see maybe a 1 feet or a half feet or a 2 feet, right? So beyond that, it cannot see. And same way, if you take the vision of the birds, right? So they can see for so many kilometers, right? So they can see from the top of the smallest of the thing moving on the earth, right? And also, if you see the eyes of eagle, so they both the eyes can see in different directions, whereas we cannot do that, right? So because based on the body that they have, and for this their survival, and this thing, the nature, I mean, the God has created that way, because the eagle, when it is from the top, it will lock the prey from one eye, and from the other eye it goes in that direction, right? So based on the nature and the necessity of those animals, the different vision is given, right? So but when we say which is the acquiring knowledge, when we see something from the direct perception, it may not be right all the time, right? So we should always believe in sadhu. Sadhu. Let me see. So Shastra, Sadhu, right? Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. So what we should trust for any knowledge is Guru. So whatever comes from the Guru, because Guru has a Guru, and it has come to him from his Guru, right? And Sadhu means it is from the Parampara. So it has to come from the Parampara. So we have this Parampara started from Krishna onwards, right? So from Krishna, Narada Muni and Vyasa. So all these things through Srila Prabhupada, it has come to us now, this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And Shastra, we should believe in the scriptures. So these are the three things we should believe in to acquire the right knowledge, right? So there are different other processes, Anumana Pranamam. So based on some logic also, hypothesis and logic, the Sabda Pramana is the right one actually. So the Sabda Pramana, deductive knowledge. So it is coming from the Parampara, from a Guru, right, to the scriptures. So it is from the Shabda Pranamana. Someone who is like the Krishna is now revealing it to Arjuna, right? What is the right process of acquiring the knowledge, right? And this is about science. This Bhagavad Gita is nothing but it's actually a science, right? So science is, what is science actually? Science is something which does not need a change, right? But we have all this misconception of science means whatever the scientists are telling, that is a science. If you have observed whatever the innovation or the discovery has happened through the scientists, they keep on changing, right? So earlier, if you take the Darwin's theory, right, he was saying that humans are coming from monkeys, right? But later it was proved that it is not from the monkeys, right? It is because the uh, experiments on rat by removing its tail for so many generations, still it was giving birth to a rat with a tail. So that disproves that we are not coming from the monkey. But it was, we believed that for so many years, right, that the human being is coming from monkeys, right? So that's why. So science should not, we should not say something now and then later, no, it is not like this. It is not, this is the right thing, right? So science is something which we should not change anytime. So this Bhagavad Gita is that kind of change, that kind of a science, right? So it is there from, if you take, Krishna has told in the beginning, right? So he has told it to the sun god. So if you take, if you calculate the years when it was told to the sun god, it will go up to like 12 crore, 40 lakhs or 4 lakhs years back. The same Bhagavad Gita was told to sun, right? Sun god, Vivaswan. But since then, not a single line or a single word or a single letter is changed in this Bhagavad Gita, because this is so perfect, right? So this is what is science. So we need not have to change anything, irrespective of what yuga you are and what generations are there, right? But if you take the modern science, they'll say something today, and after a few days, someone else will come and say that no, this is not right and this is correct, right? So the right process of acquiring knowledge is to the Sabda Pranavana, the Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, right? So let's understand more. Yeah. Similarly, how can we know Krishna, right? So now, so what is the process to know Krishna, right? So therefore, one has to learn from scripture, Krishna directly, or from a pure devotee of Krishna, right? So we can know about Krishna in three ways. One is from the scriptures, right? It's Bhagavad Gita. And the other one is to Krishna directly, right? So when you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he will reveal through our heart that what is the right knowledge. So that's one way. And also from, even if you are going through Bhagavad Gita also means it is from Krishna directly, because Bhagavad Gita is told by Krishna himself, and or from a pure devotee of Krishna, right? So pure devotee, who is pure devotee can take is Srila Prabhupada, right? His life was completely dedicated for propagating Krishna consciousness, and that too in the age of 70, where people are not able to do their own job, or they are not able to sit or stand properly. In that age, he went with just 40 rupees to spread the Krishna consciousness to the Western world. And the success, like he was able to create 108 temples before he left his body, right? So such are the kind of pure devotees. Like he is now we have a Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. He is disciple of Srila Prabhupada, right? So he's if you see he's suffering. I mean, he's having so many illness or so many operations he has gone through, but still he is able to continue in spreading Krishna consciousness, right? So you should have the association of pure devotees to understand more about Krishna, right? And not what is the other incorrect ways of doing that, not by guesswork or speculation, right? So you should not listen to or by your own thinking, you should not guess something to understand about Krishna, or you should not listen to someone who is just like saying about Krishna, right? You should always ask for, if someone is saying something about Krishna, then first thing you should ensure is that whether first thing is who he is first thing, and then does he has a guru. Like someone is saying like this is a what about Krishna and all, you ask him, are you a devotee or do you have a guru? And if he has a guru, then his guru has a guru or not. So basically it should come from a parampara. It's not like someone reads about Bhagavad Gita and because based on his own assessment he starts saying something incorrectly, right? So you should not believe that, right? So you should always question who are you and who is your guru and who is his guru. So basically any guru is there means he should be a disciple and he should have surrendered to his guru and he should follow what he is saying, right? So only then you should take him as a spiritual master, right? Otherwise you should not consider him. You should just ignore and you just go to the book that is given by Srila Prabhupada, that is Bhagavad Gita as it is. So why it is as it is means it is coming to us as it is, what is it was told by Krishna, right? So there is no deviation or no interpretation apart from what Krishna has told. So Srila Prabhupada has just given us in simple words what Krishna has told, right? So same way, if someone is telling about Krishna, then you should see the authenticity. Like you should not just listen to anyone who comes and says about Krishna. He should be from a parampara or a guru shishya parampara should be there, right? And he should be referring to scriptures. And the one who is preaching about this, he should also follow what he is saying, right? It should not be that he just says simply saying something just to make us behave, right? So the best way to acquire knowledge is Shabda Pramana, right? So this is how we should know more about Krishna. Let's move further. Everywhere and essence. So seeing Krishna everywhere, right? So source of matter. So how we can see Krishna in everywhere in this world? We can understand more about that. Like the source of matter and spirit, right? Prakriti. So we can see Krishna in Prakriti. We can see Krishna in Jiva. We understand. So you can go through the shlokas of 7.4 to understand more about Prakriti, Jiva 7.5, and Ishvara 7.6 to 7.7. Right. So Krishna is the essence and cause of everything, right? So actually, so he is the cause of everything, right? Uh, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Ishvara Karma Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. So it is mentioned in the Brahma Samhita, the first shloka itself, that Krishna is the cause of all causes. So he's the creator of everything. He's the maintainer of everything, right? So you can see Krishna in Prakriti, Jiva, Ishvara. Ishvara is himself actually. So he's as a Paramatma, he resides everywhere in all the living entities in their hearts, right? So we'll understand more further here. Yeah, Shakti and Shaktiman. So here we can understand about his um, energies and so on. So Bhumir Apanalo Vayu Kammano Buddhir Evacha Ahankara Itiyam Me Bhinna Prakrtir Ashtadha. So here Krishna says, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, all together, these eight constitute my separated material energies, right? So here I can understand that. So this earth, water, fire, air are nothing but the energies of Lord Krishna himself, but these are separated energies. So these material energy, whatever we see, the Prakriti and all, right? So these are separated energy of Krishna, right? So like, for example, if you take this Bhagavad Gita session that we are giving now. So right now it is going on live now, live currently. You do not have control of stopping this live session, right? Because I'm the controller here. So I'm running the session. If I wish to stop talking, I can stop. If I wish to continue talking, I can do that. But you do not have control over that. But whereas once this is recorded on YouTube and when you are watching the recorded session of in the YouTube, you have the control there, right? So you can stop me saying, right? So whenever this is going, because it is separated now. So same way, so this earth, water, fire, air, either mind, intelligence, all these things are separated energy of Lord Krishna, right? So this is how we can understand. So see, if you see on the right side, right, so soul is at the center and it is covered by our intelligence, mind, and ego. And the outer is the gross body. So when we leave this body, our gross body is that what we are going to leave here. But whereas our intelligence, mind, ego will go to the next life as well. So when you take the birth and next birth, it is there with us. And based on our desires and all, so we get a body next time, right? But if you see this ego, mind, and intelligence is called subtle body, whereas the uh, earth, water, fire, air, either it's a gross body along with our body. So it's all about the gross body, right? So soul is the main thing. They are covered by this material energies, right? So when we leave this body, we will go along with the soul. We also have an ego, mind, and intelligence will come along with us, so that we can fulfill our desires in the next life based on the body that we get, right? So this is how we can understand that the earth, water, fire, air is a separated energy of Krishna. So everything in this world is because of Krishna, whereas he has created his Prakriti for us to enjoy, for us to fulfill our desires. He has created all of this, and these are all separated energies of Krishna. Jiva, right? Apareyam itasta anyam prakrtim vidhi me param jiva bhuta mahabaho yaetam dharyate jagat. Besides these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature, right? So here he's telling about the Jiva. Jiva is nothing but the soul, right? So as a soul, soul is nothing but a part and parcel of Krishna only. But they are independent. It's not that after leaving our body we go and merge with uh, Krishna. It's not like that. Even if we leave this body and go back, so we are individual souls, right? So he's saying, Krishna is saying, so besides these means the previous earth, fire, and all that separated energy. Apart from that, he is, O mighty Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature, right? So through this jiva, so people are exploiting the resources of this material energy, right? So jiva is also part. And if you see the right side, it's Satchitananda. So the quality wise, we are the same, right? The Jiva and Ishvara. So we are also eternal, we are also knowledge, full of knowledge, and we are also blissful. But the quantity wise, we are different. Like you can compare, like we are just like a drop of a ocean, and ocean is Ishvara, right? So if you see the quality of a drop of water as well as the ocean, it is the same. But if you should take the size, it is different, right? The Bindu cannot become a Sindhu. I mean, the drop of ocean cannot become a ocean, right? But whereas the quality-wise, we are same, right? So that's how we can understand. So we are same as a Paramatma in the quality, but not in the size, right? So he's here Krishna is expressing the different energies that he has. He can be seen, right? So Krishna is the essence, right? We can also understand from our day-to-day examples of, right? So how we can see Krishna in our day-to-day life, right? First is the taste of water. So as we know that if you go over chemistry thing and also water is tasteless, right? But if you are thirsty and even if you drink different juices, even then your thirst will not go away till you drink a glass full of water or two glasses of water. Why? Because that taste of water. So Krishna is the taste of that water, right? So we can, this is how we can see Krishna or remember Krishna when we are doing our activities in our day-to-day life, right? We can see Krishna in the light of sun, right? So actually, sun is what? Sun is actually effulgence of Krishna, right? He's the light of sun. So it's, you can as soon as you see sun, so you can see that Krishna is there, right? And then sound of ether. So in the ether, the sound, whenever the sound you are able to hear, it is because of the ether, and that sound is also Krishna, right? And you can see many intelligent people in this world, right? So who you can see, who you get inspired, right? That's all because of the intelligence. That intelligence is from Krishna only. So this is how you can see if someone is doing great things or is able to do different things than what you are able to do, and you appreciate him, right? So then you can realize that so Krishna is giving the mercy. So because of Krishna's energy, Krishna's mercy, he is able to perform. It's, you should not be envy that so he is able to do, I am not able to do. Even if you take in your corporate life, if someone is able to achieve grow in the career ladder faster, you should not envy that so he is going, I am not going. You should realize that he is having the mercy of Krishna, and that intelligence is given by Krishna. So that way we'll not have this rat race in this world, right? So that's why, so Bhagavad Gita is very important in everybody's life. Without Bhagavad Gita there is no life. Our Prabhuji, Suna Prabhuji in class tells 100 times, without Bhagavad Gita there is no life. That's one line Prabhuji says, right? So it becomes very easy to lead our life when you know about Bhagavad Gita, because the karma thing, right? So in the previous chapters, Sindu Mathaji has told very nicely about karma, right? So when you understand what is karma and what is karma, what is vikarma, what is akarma, it becomes very easy to lead the life, and it becomes very easy to understand who is behaving which way, right? Right? If you and what are the consequences? Like if you are doing karma, where you will go? If you are doing vikarma, where you will go? If you are doing akarma, what will be doing, right? What will happen to us, right? So akarma is the right thing, right? So doing any activity, remembering Krishna is akarma, right? And with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, like where we can see the Krishna, so it becomes very easy, and it also becomes very easy to remember Krishna also, right? So whenever you are having water, you can remember Krishna, right? You can say Hare Krishna. So whenever you are having food, you can say Krishna. And whenever you can see sunrise, you can remember Krishna, right? And the sound. So if you, it is very easy to remember Krishna if we just turn our focus towards Krishna, right? So ability in a man. So if someone is doing so many activities, and that ability is coming from Krishna, right? So that's why Krishna is the essence. Krishna is everything in this world. Without Krishna, nothing happens in this world, right? People may not know that, but ultimately that is the truth, right? Yes, understand more. The unseen is proven by the seen, right? Matta parataram nanyata kinchit asti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutre mani ganaj iva. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. You can see in the picture here. So Krishna is further explaining. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Means there is no one superior to me. That Krishna is declaring himself here, right? Can give the reference about this sloka. If someone is asking like who is superior, right? So Krishna is the superior to everyone. If someone asks, you can say that sloka refers sloka 7 from chapter 7, 7.7. So everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. So he is giving the example. Like if you see this necklace on the right side, right? So you cannot see the thread, but if without the thread, this necklace cannot be created, right? So like that, so Krishna is not visible, but it does not mean that Krishna is not there, right? So like the thread in that necklace, he is hidden, but he is the strength, he is the core. Without thread, you cannot have a necklace. Same way, this entire universe is because of Krishna, right? If he is not there, then there is nothing in this world, right? So we should remember this example, right? So the same way also, like if you see the when you are flying a kite, so the kite thinks that it is going far away, and if thread is not there, it can move further. But thread is the if you cut the thread, then it will come down. And that does that is the thing, right? So same way, and if you just take this example of necklace, so without thread, the necklace will not be there, right? So he's hidden. So that's how it is. So Krishna is everywhere. He is the supreme, right? He's the supreme. He is the superior to everyone. Yes. Krishna recommends surrender. Like so, he's saying further here. Daivi he asya guna mai mama maya durataya mameve prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. This divine energy of mine, oh, this divine energy of mine, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Right? So here Krishna is saying that. So this energy consisting of three modes of material nature, that is Sattva guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, right? So the mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance, right? So because of these three modes of material nature are controlling ourselves, so it is difficult to overcome. That's what Krishna himself is saying. So it is very difficult to overcome these material modes of nature because we think that we are in our control. But actually we are controlled by the three material modes of nature, that is Sattva guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, right? So if you understand this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, you yourself can analyze yourself where you are going and what you are doing actually, right? But to overcome that, so what Krishna says further is, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So how to overcome these material modes of nature is to surrender unto Krishna. So we just have to surrender to him. So surrendering to him and just chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So he himself will reveal. So when we focus our attention to Krishna, then obviously these material modes of nature will go away, because these material modes of nature also are created by Krishna only. And when you see like someone, say for example, if you are closer to some minister or someone, and you are if you are entering into some say some Vidhan Soda or this one, if you just go as a normal person, they will not allow you to enter into that premise. But if you say that you are closer to some minister, and then minister says that okay, he's my person, you can leave him, right? Same way, this material modes of nature is nothing but the Maya, right? So when Maya or the material nature is creation of Krishna. So when Maya comes near us and Krishna says that no, he is my person, then Maya will go away, right? Same way. So if you become closer to Krishna, then you can overcome easily these material modes of nature, right? So that's what Krishna is saying. So this Krishna is also telling, he is himself revealing that who is the superior, and how you can be closer to him, or how we can attain him, right? He's giving all the details here, right? So he's saying all the energy is mine, like this material and this earth, water, fire, all these are my separated energy. And these three modes of material nature are there, which are controlling you. And if you are able to overcome those things by focusing on me, then you can easily attain me, right? So you can, if you just have to surrender, right? So if you surrender to Krishna, then you will be able to understand the truth, right? We will be able to understand the right science behind this, right? So what we have to do is to surrender on to Krishna to cross these three material modes of nature. Accept or reject. So we'll understand now here through this sloka 13 to 19. Actually, you can go through in detail in the Bhagavad Gita. So there are four kinds of men who never surrender, and there are four kinds of people who surrender. And Jnani is better and devotee is rare. So here we can understand who are all the different people who surrender to Krishna, who are all the different people who does not surrender to Krishna, and who is better and who is the best. We can understand more here. Next slides. So four kinds of men who won't surrender, right? Namaham dushkriti mudha prapadyante naradhama maya yapartha jnana asuram bhavam ashritaha. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons do not surrender to me. So here, Krishna is clearly explaining who are not going to surrender to him. Right? He knows everything, right? So he easily tells who is going to surrender, who is not going to surrender. Right? The foolish people. So who are the foolish people? Actually, the foolish people are those who are busy in their life, acquiring wealth, doing this donkey kind of work, like so day and night. They are just like a machine. They are working to earn money or to take care of the family without having to think about this devotional thing at all, right? So the people who, without any inclination towards this knowing of Krishna, just just they are day and night working like a donkey, right? So those are called foolish people. So they will not be able to surrender, and who are the lowest among mankind. So those are people like who are actually doing so many things socially, politically, economically, like the politicians and all, right? So they think that they don't even incline towards getting this knowledge or getting into the devotional service. So they are the second type of people, right? And those whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, right? Some people who are very intelligent and they have intellectually they are good. They have read so many things and they think that they are the intelligent and they think that God is also someone like them only, right? So those are the people who will also not surrender, right? The first foolish people are people who are just doing their uh, day-to-day activity, going to office, coming back, going to office, coming back, just making some money and all. So they are not surrendering. The second people is like the who are doing economically, socially, like the politician. They think that they don't need anything else. They are already doing all the things and they don't have to surrender to Krishna, right? The third one is the intelligent people. They think that after reading so many things, they think that they are also same as God only, right? And the fourth category is atheistic. So they are often demonic nature. They think that there is no God himself, or they think that he himself is a God, right? They don't believe in God, right? So these are the four category of people who don't surrender to Krishna, right? We can seeing all these things, we can understand where we are and which category we belong to, right? Based on that, we can understand yourself, right? So in which category you are. So we'll understand now who are the four kinds of men who don't surrender. Like so, here it's explained separately. Muda, the grossly foolish, hard-working asses, right? It is same as Muda is nothing but a foolish person like a donkey, right? So the donkey, it can get the grass anywhere in the world, but it thinks that only his master can give the food to him, right? It for that it simply does the hard work of carrying so many things from one place to another place to just get a little bit of grass, right? Naradama, so uncivilized people considered lowest of mankind, right? So here, actually, the people who are this socially, economically, they are doing so many things. Still, they think that they does not need to surrender. So Maya, Bharata, Jnana. So misled intellectuals of society, right? So misled intellectuals means that they are so much intelligent and they are misled and they don't think that they need to surrender, right? And the last category is Asuram Bhava Mashritaha. So the demonic natured people. So who think that they themselves are God actually, right? They don't, they are atheistic, they think that there is no God. Or even if they think that there's God is there, he is uh, like a Brahma Jyoti kind of thing. They'll think there is no form or nothing, right? So these are the four kinds of people who don't surrender, right? Let's move further. So four kinds of men who surrender now. We'll understand who are they. Right? Chaturvidha bhajante ma janam sukriti no arjuna artho jidnasurartharti jnani cha bharatarsabha. Oh, best among the Bharatas, four kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the absolute. Right. So here the four categories. Well, first one is uh, the distress, right? Someone, if you are who is having a lot of stress, right, or who is having facing a lot of difficulties, so he is the one definitely is going to come to Krishna. So he is coming with his desire of like he's in distress. So God, please save me from this distress. Like I'm having so many difficulties and all, right? So he's the one he is going to surrender. And the second one is the desire of wealth. So someone who wants to accumulate more wealth, right? So you have seen the people who go to Tirupati Balaji, right? So they have the desire of making so much of money, right? So they say that, oh, I'll give 1 lakh, I will get 10 lakh if you give me this contract, or if I get a job, I will give this much one first salary to you. Like that, they're just doing a business, right? So they come to surrender, right? They because they want to acquire wealth, so they are surrendering. The third one is the inquisitive. So people who are seekers. So they are searching for the knowledge, right? So they are actually inquisitive means they want to inquire like what, like you can say, who am I kind of thing. So that kind of some questions whoever is having like the seeker, you can say, they are going to surrender. And the one he who is searching of knowledge of the absolute. And the other fourth categories. So who is searching for the absolute knowledge. So they are the one who are going to surrender, right? So these are all the categories where can think they will be surrendering because they have their own desires actually. So it is not because of the pure bhakti as such, no, but just to fulfill their desires or come out of their difficult situation, they are going to surrender. But these are the four category of people who are going to surrender actually. Right? We'll understand more further. So artha, the distress, right? So who is having so much of difficulties? Artharthi, those who desirous of wealth. So just to make a lot of money, so they will go in and surrender to Krishna, saying that Krishna or God in whatever who they believe in which God. So they come and ask for giving more wealth, right? Jidnasu, the curious, so the one who wants to understand about himself and all. And the one who is in search of Jnani. Jnani is someone who is in search of knowledge. So these are the four categories, right? So pure devotees, very rare. Now we'll understand more here. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyante vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. So here Krishna says, after many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare, right? So here Krishna is telling the pure devotee is very rare. because after so many births and deaths, we'll be able to realize that what is the right knowledge, and then only we'll be able to surrender. So now, even if we have come to this Bhagavad Gita class, is because you have gone through so many births and deaths, and then through your so much of journey, you are able to realize, and now in this life, you are getting an opportunity to know Krishna very well, and then you will be able to surrender and become this is an opportunity for you to become a pure devotee, actually, right? So you are taken so many births and deaths, and in those so many births and deaths, you didn't had an opportunity to know about God. So you are just taking birth, enjoying your or suffering or enjoying based on your karma credit, and then taking again birth, again dying, again birth. So by doing so many, that's what Bhavanam Janma Namante. We have taken so many births and deaths to reach here, right? And who is actually understanding this knowledge, and he is the one who is going to surrender. And these kind of people who surrender, knowing about him, and the one who knows that Krishna is the cause of all causes, right? So to realize that it's not a very easy thing. It's because of the mercy of Krishna only we'll be able to get this knowledge that Krishna is the cause of all causes, right? Why it takes so many births, right? So it is not that easy. Only people who have shown that inclination, or by through their uh, realization in so many births, ultimately they have got this opportunity. So people who are sitting in this class are also very blessed, actually, because they are now going in the right direction of knowing Krishna, that Krishna is the cause of all causes, right? One who knows this only will be able to surrender, and he is the great soul, and those souls are rare. And pure devotee, you can take the example of Srila Prabhupada, right? Srila Prabhupada is the best example of pure devotee, because in his life he has not done anything other than dedicating his life to Krishna, or spreading Krishna consciousness, right? Throughout his life, he accumulated so much of knowledge, and then he he translated, or he wrote the interpretation of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, right? So many books he has written. So, and Bhagavatam is a big thing, right? So he has translated all of that and made it very simple for us to understand that. And towards the end of his life, he went to Western world to spread about Krishna consciousness, and just with 40 rupees, imagine. And that too, he got two heart attacks when he was on the way to United States through the cargo ship. It with all of that difficulty, just 40 rupees, and he was able to. He has struggled a lot. It's not that easy that he went there and just simply it happened. For a year or two, he struggled a lot, and then Krishna showered his mercy, and he, because Krishna is watching all of the activities that a person is doing, right? So he finally, so imagine how much patience Prabhupada had. So all his years, till 70 years, he has seen only failures, right? I mean, failures in the sense the expected result he was not seeing, but still he didn't give up. He continued to put his effort, and in India he tried so many things, it did not work. Then because of his guru's direction, right? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he told him that you have to go to Western world and then propagate about Krishna consciousness, right? That too, like his interaction with his guru is only twice or thrice, but he has taken that very seriously, and throughout his life he was trying to do that, and ultimately towards the end of his life he was able to do that. Like from the age of 60 70 onwards, he was in the 12 years he was finally able to create so much of awareness across the world, like 108 temples, right? That's because of he believed completely in Krishna, right? He knows that, like, he is the cause of all causes. With that kind of effort only, he is able to achieve those many things. And once you start putting the effort in right direction and pleasing Krishna without thinking anything apart from Krishna, or whatever you are doing, it is just for the sake of Krishna or pleasing Krishna, like you engage yourself in Krishna consciousness, right? Like you can engage by in multiple ways. One, by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra with a great intensity, by in the Brahma Muhurtam, right? The more you do in the morning time, it is going to give more benefits, right? And you can engage yourself in Kirtana, right? When you go to temple, be part of Kirtana, right? And you associate, you can even, if you're good in cooking, you can do preparation of a bhoga for Krishna. If you are good in decorating, you can do garland, like you can prepare the garlands, you can decorate the temple, you can clean the temple. So if you engage in all these activities, these are nothing but being in Krishna consciousness. Because in this time, you are not doing anything apart from serving Krishna or serving being in a devotional service, right? So this way, the more and more you engage or associate with the pure devotees, obviously you will be into this devotional service only, and Krishna will definitely be pleased with this, and he will start revealing more about himself. It's not that by reading you will get the knowledge. It is by surrendering you will get the knowledge. That's important. By hearing from pure devotees like Sri Prabhupada, you will get the knowledge. Right? The more and more you hear, along with the devotees, it is very easy to realize many things. Like so, Krishna himself will reveal. It's the mercy of Krishna that we are going to understand Bhagavad Gita. It's not because of our thing. And many people, if someone has done like a master's degree or a PhD, they may think that if I read, I'll be able to know myself. No, it is not possible at all. So it has to come through Guru. It has to come through the surrender, right? Because in the beginning itself, Krishna told, right, the Arjuna, he is telling to Arjuna because he is a devotee first, devotee and a friend of Krishna. That's why he is revealing to him. Same way, we should have that uh, um, uh, mentally or the mindset of surrendering to Krishna and being a devotee. First thing is to chant. So Sindu Mathaji also might have told you that every day we should chant now, because without chanting, it is very difficult to understand. Chanting means we are becoming a devotee. We are committing that we are going to be a devotee. So when you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and also when you are chanting or before chanting, you should pray to Prabhupada and to Krishna that please help me understand this Bhagavad Gita. So if you have that mindset of prayer, then it becomes very easy. If someone is having a ego that no, I can understand myself, I can read myself, why I should ask the guru or someone, then definitely they will be just reading it. It will not go inside, right? So the real knowledge you will not get unless you surrender, right? So that's very important. So for that we have to be a pure devotee, right? And being a pure devotee is very rare. So we should be very fortunate that we have got this opportunity of knowing about Bhagavad Gita, right? So we should be proud about that, and more engage more ourselves by surrendering ourselves to Krishna, right? That is the only way to get the right knowledge. And when we get the right knowledge, it becomes very easy to lead our life, right? We get to know crystal and clear that what's happening with us, what's happening in our life, right? And why it is happening. So you'll be able to relate to each and everything and lead a peaceful life without getting panic or thinking something is only happening wrong to me or kind of thing, right? Yeah, so it's very important that we understood now that what are the four kind of people who doesn't surrender, who surrender, that too because of some they are surrendering because of, but whereas a pure devotee, Krishna, right? A pure devotee. Okay, so devatas, we'll understand about devatas. So, so in the shlokas 20 to 30, it is about the devas, right? Kamai jnana प्रपद्यन्ते न देवतः तां तां नियमां हस्तया prakrtya niyata swayah. So here those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures, right? So devatas. So there are lots of desires are there. So the people who go to devatas is people who are having lots of desires and they are less intelligent. And what is the result they are trying to get is limited temporary result, right? They go to planets of devatas, right? So those whose intelligence are stolen by material desires. So basically, people who are having so much of material desires only surrender to demigods. So demigods are nothing but, so they are also in the material world only, right? So they fulfill your desires, but it's temporary, right? They follow particular rules and regulations, worship according to their own will, and they whatever they think accordingly they will worship, right? So that's not the right devotional approach, right? So people who have desires and less intelligent, they go to devatas. So they are all temporary benefits. So after that, again, you will be suffering, right? It's not permanent happiness. Okay, we'll go further. So who can become devotee, right? Yesam tva antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dhrudha persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are freed from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination, right? So who have acted piously, you can see in the picture, right? So they are happily just doing the kirtana of the Krishna, right? So who have acted piously in the previous life as well as this life, and whose sinful actions are removed, right? Whose sinful actions are completely eradicated. They are the free from dualities of delusion. So they are free from this Maya of this material world. And those are the people who are going to engage in my service. That's what Krishna is saying, right? So how these sinful actions are eradicated? They are because of chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So it is very powerful mantra. And so once we start chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra with more intensity, it will actually burn all our sins that we have done in the past lives, right? So because in so many, in this life or previous life, we keep accumulating sins because knowingly or unknowingly, we are doing so many things and that are leading to the results of sin, accumulating sin, right? And this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, what it does is it burns all the sins that we have accumulated, and then we become free from, because once we start surrendering to Krishna and chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Krishna himself will start revealing, and we'll understand, we will get freed from these dualities of delusion, right? And then we engage in full-time service of Krishna, and with that determination, right? So that's what it is told. So that means when the one who is going to surrender to Krishna is actually has done a lot of pious things in the previous lives. Only then he will be able to come to this level of surrendering to Krishna, right? And once you start surrendering, then obviously those all the sinful things, sinful actions are eradicated, and you will have a happy life, like you can see in the picture, right? The entire family is engaged in kirtan, right? You go for that. Yeah. So that's what we covered as part of chapter 7. So hearing. So what are the right way of hearing? Like from whom we should hear from? So everywhere, source of matter. So we understood Krishna is everywhere, right? So he's in the water, he's in the food, he's in the air, right? So Krishna is everything, right? He's the supreme, he's the superior to everyone. Accept or reject. So we understood who are the four people who surrender, who are the four people in the sense, who are the four category of people who surrender, who are the four categories of people who does not surrender. And Jnani is the best, but devotee is the ultimate, right? Devotee is selfless, right? So he is surrendering just to know about Krishna and to please Krishna, right? But others are surrendering for their own benefit, some material desires they have. And devatas, so temporary desires. So whoever goes to devatas, they will have they'll go to that planet, but again they have to come back because that is temporary, right? So whoever worships devatas, they may go to heaven. In heaven, what happens is you be there till the time your punya is there, right? So you will enjoy there, and again you have to come back. But whereas the one who surrendered to Krishna, he will attain Krishna and be there, and they don't have to return back, right? So some people may think like, how come, how is it like we are not going to return? Like, because you might be attached to this material world, right? So you may think that, you may want to come back. But see, imagine this material world as a fire, right? So someone who enters into the fire and they come out of the fire, does anyone think that they want to go back to fire? No, right? That Golok Vrindavana is like that. So once you go there, you realize that you are into fire, and you definitely will not want to go back. So you should not think that like, so you will not return back means it's a bad thing. So it's actually a good thing, because we don't realize that this is a mess we are into actually. So we are into the problem of this cycle of birth and death. We are not going out of this because we are thinking that this is great, right? But that is not thing, because unless you know the real knowledge, you will think that this material world is great. But when you start understanding more about Krishna, more about Bhagavad Gita, then you think that our real problem is to escape out of this cycle of birth and death. Our real problems are not like I am not having a house, I am not having a car, I am not having a right job, I am not having getting a promotion in job. So these are not our problems. Our problem is coming out of this cycle of birth and death, because we don't have to suffer all these uh, janmas, right? So when we take birth means it is difficulty only, right? So we are struggling through our education, we are struggling through so many things. We suffer a lot, right, in this material world. But when we surrender to Krishna, he will take us back. He's waiting actually. So why we are here is because we think that we'll be able to enjoy more the being separated from Krishna. So Krishna, even after telling multiple times, we did not listen to him. He says, "Okay, you go and see what it is. Later, you will come back." Like some children ask for chocolates, right? Even if father says it's not good for your health, so he is stubborn and he wants to have it. Then say, "Okay, take this and have it." Later, when you get spoiled by, like your teeth are spoiled, then you'll realize that what is right and what is wrong. So same way, so Krishna has given a freedom, like, okay, you want to go and see there, go and see, but I'm waiting for you to come back, right? And he has given so many opportunities, and he has given Bhagavad Gita, he has sent Prabhupada, he has come himself as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to help us understand the importance of devotional service, right? So through all these means, he is giving us options and opportunities based on our inclination towards surrendering to him. So he's given so many opportunities for us to realize that and come back to me, right? So he's waiting there. He's our eternal father. Actually, Krishna is our eternal father. He is waiting for us in Goloka to receive us actually. But we are busy in this temporary material world doing this. I want to make more money. There is no end to this desires, right? So if you make a 1 lakh, you'll look for 10 lakh, then 1 crore. If you have one house, you want to have one more house, two house, three house, 10 house, so many cars you want to have. There is no end to that. And those are all temporary. When you leave this body, everything will be there, right? In this material world only. But whereas this devotional service, you carry forward, right? Like in your corporate life, right? So the leave accumulation you can take. So there are 25 leaves, right? The earned leaves, say, and you utilize only 10 leaves. That's 15 leaves you will be carry forward for the next year. Same way in devotional service, whatever you do in this life, you'll be retained that in the next life. Actually, will continue from there. So you will get a better life where you will get more opportunity to engage into devotional service, and you will be born in a rich family where you don't have to bother about your survival at all, right? So that's even being in this devotional service is also preparing for the next life actually, right? So like throughout our life, what we do our education to get a better job, right? Same way throughout our this life we should practice Krishna consciousness, so that we get a better life next time to continue from where we have left. I mean, because it may not be possible because of the sins that we have accumulated that we will reach Krishna in this life itself. But at least if we get into the right track, then in the next life, at least we'll get an opportunity where we can carry forward, go further from where we are in this by end of this life, right? So we can continue from there in the next life. Like that it is. Right. So this is very important. So these chapter 7 to 12 are about all about the Bhakti Yoga. So we'll understand more about what is Krishna, who is Krishna, how to attain Krishna, how to practice Bhakti, what are the small changes that we need to make in our day-to-day life so that we can please Krishna and lead a peaceful and a healthy life actually. Right. We'll understand more in the next chapters. So what is there for tomorrow? Tomorrow, it's about clearing the doubts and also the exam death. This is important. So we'll understand more about death, right? What is death and all, and how to attain supreme, and what is devotion, right? If you have any questions, so this is about quiz actually. So you'll get a quiz link as usual after this class. You need to complete all the quizzes of 18 chapters to get the certificate. Okay, so let us end this session, today's session, by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So you can see here, so in every, towards the end of each chapter, we will also see the proof of why this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is important, right? So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. These 16 names composed of 32 syllables are the only means to counteract the evil effects of Kali Yuga. In all the Vedas, it is seen that to cross the ocean of nations, there is no alternative to the chanting of the holy name. So this Kali Santarana Upanishad, it is mentioned that, right? So there is no other way. It is clearly mentioned here. One second, I'm not able to see this. So Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it's Sadosakam Nam Kali Kalmasha Nasanam Nata Paratorapaya Sarva Vedeshu Dushtrate. So there is no alternative of to this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So only this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra itself will be able to take us out of this Kali Yuga, right? This is the only way to go back to Krishna. It's a very powerful Mahamantra actually. Why it is called Mahamantra is because you can chant this anytime actually. There are no rules and regulations. This is made so simple by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that you can chant this at any point, any time of the day, anywhere in the world, right? Any number of times you can do. There are no rules and regulations to chant this mantra. But whereas if you take any other mantras, there are so many rules and restrictions are there that you should do it only during this time, you should do only during this way. So there are so many other rules. But for this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there is no rule. That's why it is Mahamantra. And for Kali Yuga, because it's a simple thing, right? So you don't have to do anything, yajna, so many, or you don't have to build a temple or do so many things. You just have to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and engage yourself in the devotional service. That is enough. Right? Yeah. So this is our Lakshmi Narasimha in our temple. It's called HBR temple. Gandharvika Girdhari and Sri Radha. And this is our HBR ISKCON temple. You can visit whenever you have time. So every second Saturday, there is a Narasimha Abhishekam happens around 11 a.m. So you can be here. HBR ISKCON, you can type in Google. So if you have any questions, you can take. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for starting the Bhakti Yoga today. We have one question in the chat. Basaraj Prabhu is asking, the near ancestors of humans are chimpanzees.
Madam Prabhu, your voice is too low. I'm not able to hear you.
Prabhu, there is one question in the chat. Am I loud?
Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu.
Prabhu, there is one question in the chat box.
Okay.
Yeah. Basaraj Prabhu is asking that the near ancestors of the humans are chimpanzees.
No, this is a wrong conception. So there's no concept of our ancestors are chimpanzees or monkeys. Okay, so remove that from your mind. So there's no way that human can be born from the chimpanzee. So that's all a wrong theory. Okay, because we have 84 lakh species. So God has created so many species. That's our journey to reach the human life. They are just steps to reach there. But it is all because through our karma. So we get into those things. But it's not that humans are born from chimpanzee or a monkey. It's not correct. Please remove that from your mind going forward.
Prabhu, can you see the chat box?
Yeah, I can say it.
Yeah.
Not directly from chimpanzee. Yeah, so it's not like that. So these are the different species uh, that are there. There are 4 lakh human species or so actually. It's a journey because of we have to achieve the human life. We have to go through this 84 lakh species. That's how it is. But it's not like our ancestors are chimpanzees. It's not that way. Sindhu Mathaji, you want to add to this? Can please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sindu Mataji is not there in the.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you can take the next
Yeah.
question.
Swapna Mataji has raised the hand.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
The question was, we spoke about Mahakrishna Mahamantra. So we hear something about Guru, like Sindhu Mataji, when she was explaining, this is something called Brahma Parampara. So when we are looking into this, should we think that we are part of this Guru Parampara? Now we are learning, we are like disciples. And the Maha Mantra that is given to us, like Hare Krishna, Hare, is this like Guru given mantra? Can I use that in that sense?
Yes.
Or anyone, like for example, I can go and tell anyone to use this. Like some mantras need Guru Diksha and some doesn't, right? So if you can give that
Yeah.
update on.
So you can because as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told that everyone can chant this. So when you are starting chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, so you are a practicing devotee kind of thing. But to get the from the Guru, like we have to actually take the Diksha, right? So when you take the Diksha, then actually you will have a connection, establish a connection with Guru, and that the Parampara connection will be established only after taking Diksha. Right. So right now, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. So he is the one who is giving Diksha. There are there are so many different Maharajas also. So when you get a Diksha when you select a spiritual master based on your interest or in the liking of the Maharaj where you want to be associated. So from that Guru Maharaj, when you take a Diksha, that time also they will again give this holy name Diksha only. That is Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. But the only thing is that will establish a connection with the Parampara. Right now we are just a practicing devotees. Like we can chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, but the real journey of going back to Krishna starts when you take Diksha, right? So over a period of time, you will achieve that. But right now, just chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra also will give the benefit of developing a love for Krishna, right? So you can do it, and anyone can do this at any point of time, and you can tell it to others also.
And I had one other question. So, like when I look at God, I look at someone whom I love dearly and more than anything in this world. So, why do we stick on to one mantra? Or like I see God as Supreme Soul, not giving a name like Krishna, Narasimha, or whatever. Like they are all different names for the same Supreme God. At the end of the day, Vishnu is the ultimate, and then everything formed out of him. So Brahma or anyone, like just like we love our kid and we call them in different names, why can't I do that for God also? Like sometime I can pray in the name of Narsimha and see Krishna again. Sometime I can pray in the name of like Shiva and see the same Supreme Soul. Like I feel like I don't know, it might be just because I'm yet in the earlier stages of learning and everything. It just feels like it's a restriction for me to love God in whichever name I want to call. Because I am given one mantra and that's the mantra I have to chant. Like every name of God, I feel like connected. Like when I hear Shiva, I love him. When I hear Krishna mantra, I love him. But sticking on to that one mantra, is it necessary? Like, that's what the question was.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Chandrasekhar Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Can you hear me,
Yeah.
Prabhu? I think
Yes, Prabhu. Yes,
it
Prabhu.
got disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got the question. So actually for Kali Yuga, this is the only mantra that is recommended. That's why we should chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And as we saw in this chapter itself, so you can worship any devatas as well, but the results are different, right? So it will not lead you to the same destination. So if you are worshipping devatas, you will go to the planet of devatas, right? If you worship Krishna or Narsimha, you go to their planets, right? The Narsimha, the Vishnu, Narayana, all are Vishnu Tattva only. So they have Vaikunthas, right? So they are actually in physical form, they are residing. Even if you are worshipping Narsimha, so he is residing in one of the Vaikuntha there, and you can go to that planet, right? Same way, whichever god you are more close to or you want to worship, you will go to that planet. But the results are different. But in some other demigods, if you worship and if you go there, you may have to come back after your pious things are over. But whereas once you worship Krishna or Narsimha, you don't have to return back. So once you reach Vaikuntha, you don't have to return back, right? And there is a hierarchy. It's not that you can worship any devatas, but to understand what is the right thing, like we have organization structure like the CEO, and then there are CXOs are there, and then there are managers are there. So same way, there is a hierarchy which starts from Krishna, and from Krishna to Balram, and Balram to there are four Sankarshanas, right? Pradyumna, Sankarshana, Aniruddha, and from Sankarshana comes Narayana. From Narayana it comes Mahavishnu, then Karanodakaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakaya Vishnu. So in all the living entities, as a Paramatma, the Kshirodakaya Vishnu is residing with us, right? So this is the hierarchy. And Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma. So they are again created for different activities. So Brahma is the creator. Like I think in the next chapters or somewhere it will come. So like we have different departments, right? The finance department, this and all. So like that, we have different demigods to take care of different activities. Like the Brahma is for kind of construction, you can say, right? And Saraswati is for human resource. Lakshmi is for finance, right? So like this, there are different this thing, but it ultimately the source of everything is Krishna only. You will get to know as we go through this Bhagavad Gita. So there is a proper hierarchical chart, and Krishna is, so even if you in the Vishnu Tattva where you worship, it will ultimately lead to the Vaikuntha, like Narsimha, Vishnu. Vishnu is represents the mode of goodness, whereas Brahma represents the mode of passion, right? And whereas Shiva represents the mode of ignorance, that is tamoguna, right? So for people who are in the mode of ignorance, they will easily be able to worship Shiva, because Shiva is so merciful, right? He will, so for different people there are different devatas are there, right? Like that it is. Whereas Vishnu is the one who is represents the people who are in the mode of goodness, that is sattva guna, like that, right? And yeah, so yeah, you'll understand more as we proceed. But for Kali Yuga, it is the only mantra. Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the only mantra to uh, take mukti actually. And even the Shiva himself has told that Vishnu is the only Mukti Pradatta. So Mukti Pradatta Mukunda Matra Mukti Pradatta Mukunda. So he himself has told that the Krishna is the only person who can give you mukti from this material cycle of birth and death, actually. Right. So from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is given this mantra that for Kali Yuga, because we in Kali Yuga we will not be able to do so many things. We can't even just remember what we did just 1 hour back, right? And what we had food yesterday also we don't remember, right? It's very difficult for us to have this process of doing yajnas and all of that. So those are for different yugas. But for this Kali Yuga, this is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the only way to go back to Krishna. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. That was really helpful.
Any other questions, sir?
Hare Krishna, dear devotee.